Learning an instrument takes countless hours of hard work and dedication. In fact, it takes 10,000 hours on average to be proficient at playing the violin. In most cases, when learning a new skill like playing an instrument, you'd need to seek out some sort of help, either in the form of a teacher or a video, to learn how to play the thing. However, today I wanted to try and see what could be accomplished in 15 minutes on an instrument I have never played before. Start the clock. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to rosin the bow so that it slides on the strings, which I don't really know what rosin is. However, I just know it makes the bow slide better, apparently. I will note that last night, just so I wouldn't make a complete fool of myself, I took about 10 minutes trying to figure out how the shoulder rest goes on, and I probably still have it on wrong. However, it's a lot better than it was last night. So now I'm going to try and play my first note. Sounds pretty bad, but not as bad as I thought it would sound. So while I'm trying to figure this out, I'm going to go ahead and talk to you about my general music knowledge. So, I don't play the violin, obviously, as you can tell. I am an oboe player. I'm a band kid. The oboe is basically an instrument that looks like a clarinet, does not sound anywhere close to clarinet. It's a double reed instrument, which basically means I am blowing through a straw the entire time, and it's vibrating to make noise. Another thing is I played oboe for 5 years, and throughout those 5 years, for 2 of those years, I was in symphony, which is where I learned the general knowledge of what I know about the violin, which is this is the head, then there's the neck, and then there's the body, along with the bridge. The reason I know what the bridge is because my band director would always make a joke by putting this little wooden piece over his water bottle and saying, "Look, it's the bridge over troubled water." So, another thing I learned about the bridge is that the closer you play to it, apparently, the louder the sound is. So, compared to here, if I play right here, it should be louder. Right? So, next part that I know about the violin is that there's the frog, which is the part of the bow that's close to my hand, and the tip. This also controls how loud the sound is going to be. The closer you play to the tip, the quieter it is. The closer you play to the frog, the louder it is. Also, the bow speed determines how loud and what type of sound the string is going to make when you move the bow across it. So compared to like going really slow to really fast. Yeah, that doesn't sound really good. So I'm going to now try and play something just by doing random fingerings. I don't know what any of these notes are, so. I don't think that's supposed to be a note. So, what I'm trying to do right now is I have slight experience on guitar, but I wasn't really ever good at it. But I know the closer you move your finger to the bridge of the violin, the higher pitched the note is. And the further you move it, the lower it is. And the open strings are the lowest it gets. So that's what I'm trying to figure out right now. I'm gonna try and do something on the second and third string because I've only been using the first and fourth, so. What I was just trying right there is something that I also kind of learned from playing oboe is spizzicato. Spizzicato is where you just let the bow bounce on the strings. And then there's also longbow, which the sounds I'm making right now kind of sound like they're sounds from a horror movie, if I'm being honest. So, it looks like I'm at my little past my 10-minute mark, which is where I want to start talking about how this is different from traditional practicing. Normally, on my instrument, of course, I know all the notes and how to actually play my instrument compared to where I'm just diving in head first. I don't know what the heck's going on right now. But on my normal instrument, I would usually start by playing scales, which are patterns of notes that just go up and down. And then I would also play long tones and work on any excerpts or playing tests that I have for band. And then other than that, I would usually just sight read and do random stuff. This, on the other hand, like I said before, I don't know the notes, and I am just improvising, as you could say in the musician world, and quite literally I am improvising right now. So there's that. I'm gonna try and do a little bit more. So there's another type of bowing. It's not really using bow, but it's called pizzicato that I also said I really wanted to try. So. Again, I wasn't really good at guitar, and that's kind of like the bow. It's slightly better, but I'm still not really good at it. I'm just going to try and like play a few more things. So. I honestly have no idea what notes I'm playing, except for this one right here. It's I think that's the A string because that's the one that I had to tune, and I usually would hold out an A, and they'd be like, "Okay, A." And then this one I think is D. This one is G, and this one should be E. So, going off of that, it looks like I have 3 minutes and 50 seconds left. So I'm gonna kind of wrap this up. I obviously do not know how to play the violin. I kind of improved from when I first started, as far as I can tell. There's a certain angle apparently that the bow has to be at, but I haven't found that yet, and I get it occasionally and then I lose it. So and 2 minutes left. Honestly, what's going through my mind right now is just completely blank because I thought I would honestly have a lot more to say, and I really don't. So, it's just, it doesn't really sound really good in my opinion. And it's probably really out of tune, and I'm really sorry to everyone with perfect pitch because this must be extremely painful for you guys to listen to. But it's a learning experience, you know? I didn't really go into this expecting I'd be amazing or halfway decent. So that sounds like a really minor interval. Ugh. Which means it's going flat. It's like, that sounds halfway decent. Oh, you have to keep the bow moving. That's what you're supposed to do. It sounds like I'm playing tones that don't even exist. And with 14 seconds left, I would like to play my final note. And time is pretty much up. Now, many of you may be wondering why I just did what I did other than for fun or to make those terrifying screeching noises on the violin. Like I said before, I wanted to try and see what could be accomplished in a short span of time on an instrument I have never played before. And while practicing my TED Talk, I realized something. This not only serves the purpose of being fun, it also has served another purpose for me. Whenever I played in band on this very stage as a middle schooler, I always felt confident, comfortable, and okay with putting myself out there as a musician and who I was. However, as I got into my freshman year of high school, I started to feel an existential amount of dread and fear of playing on stage. I had stage fright. This TED Talk has helped me see that it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to put yourself out there and just be who you are and everything. I want to encourage every single person in this audience to go out and try something new. It doesn't have to be violin, it can be anything. You can learn a lot in a short span of time, and you might even surprise yourself. I didn't know I'd be this bad at violin today, and I wasn't expecting to be that good either, but I still had fun. Except it's terrifying noises, like I said before, that sound like they were from a horror movie. Now, you obviously don't have to try something new in front of a crowd like I just did. However, we can be harsher on ourselves than an actual audience might be. But by doing things you've never done before, trying new things, and learning through our own self-discoveries, we can grow as people. Thank you.